Welcome to the TST podcast. We're queer, you're here. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Kris. And in today's episode, we thought we would talk about love. I love that. Love. So, what does love mean to you?
Well, to me, love and in love are two completely separate things.
Mm-hmm. But what does love mean to you?
It's like love to me is a bond with people or things that is so much deeper than surface level for everything else. You know how it's like, oh, I love this food. It's like that's very surface level. But I love my best friend. It's like there are so many deep, intricate layers that go into that. So like that's the difference, like being in love and love to me. It's like being in love is like I love my best friend, but if she didn't text me today, yeah, that'd be fine.
You'd be fine.
If I was in love with someone and they didn't text me today,
you'd be like, where the fuck is
it would be like I can't I can't breathe without this person. That is what in love to me is versus normal love. What about you?
I think love for me is sort of similar to you, but like when I like hear the word love, I'm like, it's a word of happiness and joy and contentness, you know? Like I think then it comes into the line of like when I'm in love with someone, like you're content with that person. Like I think a lot of the time, like the saying "I'm in love with you" is very much like thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
Like I personally don't. Actually, no, that's a lie. I do know how it feels to be in love with someone, but that's only happened to me once.
Yeah. Whereas I was gonna say I can only sort of go on it based on like a preconceived perspective because I have never been in love with somebody.
No.
I have loved several people and several people have loved me. But I have never been in love, nor have I ever felt like somebody has been in love with me. Because to me, it is such a level of unconditional. Whereas I always feel like
there's conditions.
Yeah. There's always an aspect of performing, looking your best, thinking your best, feeling your best, portraying yourself in a certain way that they're going to like you. Whereas being in love is so unconditional that the way you behave, the way you act, the way you think, the way you feel, it's just there's not a thought process behind it.
No,
it just is.
It's what's the word? It's unconditional, but it's natural.
Yeah.
Like you naturally do that.
Yeah. Like the way
I think I've always had it where like there's conditions.
Yeah.
Like there's always a condition. Oh, you love me, but you have to love it for this way, and there's always a but, or there's always a why you love that person. It's like you just love them.
Yeah.
Like if you're in love with someone, you're in love with that person.
Yeah.
You're in love with everything that they like.
That's
everything that they stand for, everything that they are.
Yeah.
You love everything.
So that's it to me, is like the idea of being in love. It's like I want to be my own individual person in a relationship. But it's like I can go out with the girls and enjoy my little evening. But the thought would be, oh, but this would be so much more fun if they were here. So it's not that I can't do it without them. It's I can still go and do something and I can still enjoy myself, but like, oh, it would be so much more fun if they were here. That's to me is like that's being in love with somebody. It's like, yeah, I can go shopping by myself. I'm more than happy to. But if I was in love with somebody, it's I can go and do that myself. But oh my god, it'd be so much more fun doing it with you though.
Yeah. Like, do you not think like though? Everyone in your life, you love everyone differently to the other person.
100%.
Like I think
100%.
Some people think go down the lines of like, our love is just the same for everyone.
Yeah, no,
but it's not. It's different because you love someone. Like I love you differently to how I love Celine, for example.
Yeah.
Like in a friendship way, I love you because you're like my bestie.
Yeah.
Celine, I love them because they're my bestie, but I love them in a different way to you because you're different people.
Exactly. And it's like that's like the only time I could say, like, without being in that sort of level of love with somebody, you experience that level of unconditional love would be with, like, your parents, for example.
Yeah, because your parents is unconditional. They birth you. That's your mum and dad.
Yeah, I know everyone's scenario is different, and unfortunately some parents aren't like that.
No.
But, like, for me, the level of unconditional love I have around my parents is that same level of safe and comfort and ease that I want to have with a partner.
Yeah, and that's like, and I think a lot of time that is probably why we are always searching so much for that, because you have it so easy with your mum and dad.
Yeah.
And like for me, like my mum and dad love me unconditionally. Yeah, I'm a pain sometimes, but they love me. But it's just natural.
Yeah.
And I think when you feel that from your parents, you're always going to want to seek that with your partner. And when you don't get that with your partner, then that's where complications come in. And you want to leave, or you want to go and...
I fear it's dating and the whole being loved and in love thing has been so watered down, like situationships. Almost everybody prefers a situationship over a relationship. They want all the admiration, the love, the connection, the intimacy, the commitment of a relationship,
but not the title.
But without being committed in a relationship. So if they ever do decide that they want to go and chase the next best thing, nobody can get upset.
Yeah, but it's not
because
always
they're
the
not
best thing, though.
Connected that way. It's not, well, we weren't together. And it's like, okay, sorry. You texted me every day and telling me how much you love my personality and my quirks and how safe you made me feel. Sorry, I was so silly that you meant that as friends. Like, no, that is how dating nowadays is. Like, point blank period.
It's not always, though.
90% of the time it is.
No, because, like, not everyone is going to, like, just have commitment issues to, like, hurt you, you know?
No, I'm not saying their intentions are to hurt. A lot of people, their intentions is they want their availability, but they still want somebody devoted to them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And to me, there's a degree of narcissism to it. Because how do you want somebody so obsessed with you that they've pretty much fallen in love with you, but you still want all the freedom and free will to go and do whatever you want with whoever you want, and your argument will always be, well, we weren't together.
You mean you just don't be with someone?
No, but that's the issue, is they want the level of commitment where it is as if they are together with somebody, but then they still want the freedom of, if they want to go and sleep around, they can, because we weren't together, and that's always going to be their argument.
But then that's why open relationships were invented.
That is true, but even then, a lot of people, that's too much commitment for quite a lot of people. That like the sheer volume of people I've spoken to in my life who are like, I basically want you to be my wife, but not put a title on it though. You know, I'm going out this weekend. I might bump into somebody. I might meet somebody. So, and yeah, that is That's like not just a me thing as well. That is, I know so many people who have dealt with situationships.
But then, do you not see like why? For example, like when I told you that don't really want a relationship with anyone, do you not see like where that comes from as well? Because it's along the lines of this, because you can't find it.
No, but then it's also it's annoying to me because it's like there are so many double standards with people. There is like, I want you to be committed, but I don't want to be committed. I want you to love me unconditionally, but I'm going to love you under certain conditions.
There is that.
And it's like, that is just like, that is dating to me. That is experiences I have continually had with dating.
If someone's open to you and says, like, they want the same back from each other, then sure, that's okay.
If it's a mutual agreement between two people, yes.
For example.
But like oftentimes, it's not mutually agreed upon. It's kind of like you've been led down the path of being made to believe through somebody's words and actions that they were intending it to go committed, and then out of the blue it's like, no. And that's when it's like, 'cause this isn't just a mutually, like, this is widespread. A lot of people I know and have seen online have experienced this. It's kind of like the breadcrumbing of, yeah, no, we're going down this route, we're going down this route, we're going down this... Nah. And it's like kind of like, oh, silly me for thinking. Like,
but that's why you have to have open communication.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't.
But a lot of people don't want to have them difficult conversations.
Yeah, but it's not hard. It's not hard to have a difficult conversation.
But it is when a lot of people feel like they're being attacked.
Yeah, but like for me, like I don't really want a relationship.
No.
But like, I have open communication with people about what I want and how I want them to treat me. I don't want someone to be committed to me if I'm not committed to them.
No. But that's then where it falls under the lines of, is it love or is it lust?
None.
No, but with people communicating like what they are feeling, it's like when you boil it down to it, you kind of get to this line whether it's like, is this connection lustful or is this connection loving?
Okay.
And then a lot of people don't like to get down to that route. So prior to even getting to that point, they'll sort of like breadcrumb you for a week and then ghost. Because they can feel that it's going to a level of where they need to have a serious conversation and they don't want to do that. So they will just sort of breadcrumb you for a week or 2 weeks and then dip and move on and do the same on the next person. Because they get all the gratification of somebody being obsessed with them.
Not everyone's like that.
No, of course not. I'm not saying this is everyone. This is a generalization. I know, like, billions of people are in relationships. I'm aware. It's not the whole population. But a lot of people, particularly men, particularly of our age and generation, they want the new shiny, exciting thing of this person's obsessed with me, this person's obsessed with me. Oh, they're starting to try and get serious with me. Okay, bye. Next person.
No.
Okay, bye. Next person.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
That is, literally Google it right now. It is such a common thing.
No.
How many people do you know on dating apps, that will have a conversation and then turn around and say, yeah, I'm not looking for anything serious?
Yeah, but like a lot of people would have that on their profile now, but they don't want something serious.
But it's a dating app.
Yeah, but dating apps have changed now. If you go on
but this is what I mean. This is what I mean. They've changed with the culture.
Yeah, but it's not a dating app anymore. Like if you go onto Tinder and when you create an account, it asks you, well, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
Are you looking for a long term, a short term? Are you looking for fun? Are you looking for friends?
Yeah.
So I don't think Tinder and like Grindr and Hinge and Bumble and all of these like places, I don't think they're not dating apps anymore. They're not there to look for love.
No, but that's what I say about how the culture has changed with dating.
Yeah, it has, but
that's the point I was making before. Is the culture has changed to dating apps that were once I'm looking for, let's get together. It has now changed more towards the line of I am here to look for fun, short term, whereas even 10 years ago, you wouldn't openly admit that you were only looking for a short-term relationship. Short-term relationships were seen as something negative because it means it was a relationship that didn't survive.
No, but like...
Whereas now, for some people, it's their intention. They want a boyfriend for the summer. Like...
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing.
It is if it's not a mutually agreed upon thing.
Yeah, but...
And a lot of the times it's not a mutually agreed upon thing.
No, but like I get that. But like, I do think... I do believe there it is mutual. There's more mutual agreements than there is.
Possibly, but even if there's one out of 100 million, it's still not fair on that one.
No, it's not. But like, this is why you have to be careful of who you choose and who you go and talk to. This is why dates happen.
You can be cautious and say, I'm gonna be selectful about who I choose. But you don't ever know somebody's intentions if they don't reveal them to you.
No.
Someone could look you square dead in the face and say, I'm going to marry you, I'm going to marry you, I'm going to marry you. And then they don't, because that was never their intention.
No, but
that's never their intention. But they've never made you believe that wasn't going to be their intention.
But then I think that's where... you should be so okay with yourself and be okay being on your own.
I don't think it has anything to do with self-love, to be honest with you.
I do.
I really don't.
I do, because
I'm interested to hear that perspective, because we have different perspectives on this.
I do, because if you don't love yourself, how can you love someone else? And also, if you don't love yourself, when you're not with that person that you want to love, for them to love you, like, who's gonna love you?
No, I can see that.
You're just gonna be sat in your bed all day, curled up in a ball, like. And I've been in a situation like that before.
Yeah.
Like, and I think the situation that I was in, I've had to learn to love myself because I didn't get it from my partner.
Yeah.
And it's just how I think now. Like, I love myself, and it's probably why I am so vain. And you know that I'm really vain.
Yeah.
And I love myself because I know that I'm not necessarily going to get it from anyone else. And like, I'm not looking for anyone else, but I'm happy being on my own.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it'd be lovely to be in a relationship. It'd be lovely to have someone to share like my life with.
Yeah.
And I do want that eventually. I want to have someone.
Absolutely.
But like,
I think my point was more the intentions that people lead with a lot on dating apps, in person, on real dates, versus like almost like an ulterior motive. So like, I've experienced a lot, like guys will be friends with a girl. I've experienced it myself, and a lot of my female friends have experienced as well. And we've kind of been in the mindset where it's like, okay, no, he actually wants to be my friend, like, genuinely. And then out of the blue, it's always actually, I'm really into you and I've really wanted to sleep with you. And it's like, it's so disappointing because their intentions have always been, they want to be my friend. And then at the drop of a hat, they're like, actually, I was only doing this so I could sleep with you.
Yeah, but that's where you need to sort of see signs, but you also can't see it.
Exactly. Like, if someone's intentions are leading you down one route, and then they switch it up and say, actually, that was never my intention, this is my intention. That's incredibly difficult. And it's hard to navigate dating when you don't ever really know if someone's being genuine about their intentions.
No, you don't, but this is why you have to have open communication. Even if they're not open communicating, you need to be open yourself.
But how can you have open lines of communication if you are the only one communicating?
Then at least you know. For me, I'm always open. If the person that I'm dating, the person that I'm seeing, doesn't want to be open communicating with me, that's their problem.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like stop pursuing it if it's going good, but I'm gonna openly communicate everything that I feel.
Yeah.
And maybe one day that they will do that, but I'm always gonna open communicate now.
Yeah.
I've been in too many situations and relationships that I've not communicated properly, that I can't do that anymore.
No.
I'm not gonna sit and not communicate to people.
No.
Because then you don't know, the person that you're with doesn't know how you feel.
No, absolutely. And I think like the word love has been like oversaturated. A lot of people don't actually know
what it means.
What loving somebody, being in love, and loving something. You know, it's like, oh, I love being on my phone. That's not the same as me loving my best friend.
No, but that's just
and I think a lot of people just don't even take the time to sit and think about it like that. They don't even take the time to sit and think, do I like, is this love different?
But this is why we have to sort of adapt, and like, you love different things in a different way. Like, I love you differently to how I love being on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't so necessarily love being on my phone, but like when I do things like roller skating, I love roller skating and I love doing my makeup because I really enjoy it, and I associate love with enjoyment and happiness and contentness, and I'm content with doing them things.
Whereas I think a lot of people just aren't into perspective. They won't sit and think, I love them different to the way I love them, and I love them different to the way I love them. They're not going to sit and think, well, why is that? Or is this deeper? Is that not deeper? Da, 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 da. They're just going to say, love is since Pride Month, love is love. They're just going to say it's all one universal feeling. A lot of people aren't in perspective enough to sit with themselves and think of it that deep.
No, I know. I get.
No, absolutely not. No. No, I've never intended love to be a negative.
But it does feel like a lot of the time
It's difficult.
it's sort of getting to that point where it is negative. But like you should be open. Like I've been thinking recently, like, is it worth being in an open relationship at some
Mm.
point? Because because the way I am.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I don't know. I don't, and this is what I don't know. I
No.
have to find out myself
Whereas,
what I want.
yeah. So I was saying it's like open relationships are incredibly common amongst the queer community because monogamy has been pushed on like heterosexual relationships since the dawn of time. But a lot of people in the queer community can understand that loving somebody and lusting after somebody are two separate things in its entirety. As like RuPaul has once been quoted to say, he's in an open relationship with his husband because he knows that they either of them can go out during the day and do whatever they want with whoever they want because they know they're coming back home to love them
That's what I mean.
at the end of the day.
But that's where like people like for me and you example have that sort of open mind about it.
Mm.
But not everyone does have that. But I
No.
don't think not it's not it's their that's their life though.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I think love is means something to everyone different to everyone.
Yeah.
And the way I think of love is probably different to you. But I'm very open with
Yeah.
it. But like
it's like to me like love is it's passion and it's commitment and it's reassurance and it's acknowledgement of each other. Whereas I don't know if any of that is different for you. Because to me it's just that there is just this like it's almost like an instinctual, like a primal feeling, like this deep rooted feeling of like this is the other half of me. The term soulmates is like this is there's I think it's ancient Greek or something. There's this mythology that humans were once born with two heads, and then they were split in half because they were too powerful. So now we spend eternity trying to find our soulmate. And it's like to me, that is what true in love is.
I don't believe
it's that deep connection with somebody.
Like a true connection and a deep connection. And that is like when you're in love with someone, you have that like all you think about is them. You don't think about anyone else. But I don't believe in soulmates.
No.
I don't believe in you have this person that is meant to be your soulmate, and when you find them, you'll know. No, because at the end of the day, in the wild, animals in the wild, we evolved from being monkeys, from you know what I mean,
fish to begin with.
Well, fish. We evolved into humans from a creature. So in the wild, if we were still an animal in the wild, most people, like male species, have multiple partners. Like a lion, for example, will not just mate with one lion and then stay with that lion. With that.
Well, they don't mate with lions because that would make them gay.
Well, whatever the other
lionesses.
Lionesses, yeah. A lion will mate with a lioness, and then that lion will then go and mate with another lioness, and then another one, and then another one.
Maybe as a different example, I think lions are monogamous.
No, they're not.
I'm pretty certain they are.
No, they're not.
I'm pretty certain they are because they raise their cubs together.
They do, but they have multiple partners. You know this.
We'll have to fact check this because
we'll fact check it. But like, honestly, most animals in the wild will have multiple mates because their natural instinct is to reproduce with people, and this is why I think you don't.
No, you're right. They're polyamorous.
Told you.
I just said you were right.
Told you.
God.
So like, I don't like most animals in the wild are poly. Like like your natural instinct is to reproduce, and this is why I say like a lot of the time with us we have multiple.
Love and lust are different.
But this is what I mean. I don't think it's. I think it's all to do with how you feel about it.
Yeah.
But
whereas I think with the term like the soulmates, it's not that like when you find the one you'll know and da da da. Like a lot of it is very much like rom-com movie trope. I completely get that. You don't bump into somebody one day and instantly know that that's the love of your life.
No, but like...
But on the same breath as that, I do believe having such a deep love for somebody that it can only be comparable to a soulmate, I believe that does exist.
No, I don't.
I do believe having a love that runs so deep that the only word you could use to describe it is a soulmate. I believe that exists.
I don't. Not now, anyway. Not nowadays. I would probably believe it years ago. Like when I talk about like my mum and dad, for example.
Yeah.
They've been with each other for God knows how long, and they still are now.
Yeah.
But why do you not see that nowadays? Where like I only know that I think they are still together. One couple from when I was at school that are still together now, and it's like it just don't work. Like,
no. Whereas maybe we surround ourselves with different people, because one of my best friends is married. She got married last year. Another one of my best friends just got engaged a few months ago. All of my friends, besides myself, are in relationships. And basically, they are long-term committed relationships as well.
Maybe it's the whole... Maybe it goes back to the whole, like, neurodivergent thing.
Possibly.
Because I do believe that...
Although the one who is married is autistic.
I don't know. I do believe, like, my ADHD has an effect. Because I've had people where they've said, I don't want to date you because you have ADHD. And it's like... Right. So
yeah.
But, like... What, it doesn't have an effect on you. It's something that...
And it's one of them things where it's like, if you loved somebody enough, you would learn to deal with it. You know, it's like if you were married to someone and they suddenly got sick,
you'd learn and you'd deal with it.
Exactly. You wouldn't just decide that, okay, well, we're getting divorced now because you're ill and I'm not. It's like, okay, well, you're neurodivergent. Okay, well, sometimes you need me to do this. Sometimes you need me to do that. All right, we'll work it out. We'll figure it out together. I think that's what it's like. Love to me is like showing up. It's putting in the work. It's putting the actions to the words.
But then that falls into the whole like love language thing. So everyone's love language is different. So like you want someone to show up. So that's like acts of service.
Yeah.
So like it's different for everyone. This is why I say love is very versatile. It's very different for everyone.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Everyone has a different opinion. So like, yeah.
That's why I think this is a good topic to talk about. Is how everybody has differing opinions on it.
Yeah, everyone's way of loving each other is different.
Yeah.
And I believe in you have the right people for you. I do believe that there is someone out there that is the right... They meet your needs and wants and relationship, and you both meet each other. But I don't believe in a soulmate. I don't believe there is that one person that you're down.
No, that's what I mean. It's like it's not like you're destined to be with them, but I do believe you can build a connection with someone that is so deep it could be compatible.
Oh, they meet at work, or they meet in a store. That happened to me.
Yeah,
I'm not with them now.
No, but then there wasn't that instant sensation of I'm in love with them, though, was it?
You know when you see a rom-com, like it's nice to see, and I love rom-coms to bits, but then you don't actually see what happens after. After they're like happy ever after. Yeah. You don't see what happens behind doors.
Yeah, there's no follow-up.
Where are they in 5 years? You know, like...
Yeah.
Something that pops to mind is, have you watched Ted?
Yes.
So, in Ted, obviously, like John, he's with... what's her name? Mia Kunis plays her.
Yeah, no, I can't remember her name.
But
I want to say Meg, but that's the one she plays in Family Guy.
No, it's... Laurie. Laurie. So they're together in the first one, and then the second one, they're not together.
No.
So it's like you do see that, like, they're not together, but what actually happened for them to not be together, you know? So you don't really see them. It's not a rom-com, but that's a sort of example that I get.
Yeah, it's like the saying about the rom-coms with they bumped shoulders, they knew instantly. It's like, no. Love is work. It is hard work. But the difference is, when you are in love with somebody, it doesn't feel like work.
No.
You want to show up.
When you
want to put in the effort. You want to speak their love language. That it's work that you have to actively do with each other.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like work.
And it's like, and that's how I know that I've never been in love with someone in a relationship, because I've always felt like I've had to put in work. I've always felt like there's something that I've got to change about myself, or that I've got to do differently to make something work.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways. I feel like I've been in relationships where like I've thought the person that I was with needs to do something different. And I don't think, if you're with someone, I don't think you need to necessarily do something different or change yourself. I think you just adapt together and you learn together and you do it together.
Yeah.
Like if you need to talk about something, talk about it. You know, like don't
exactly
just
communicate things.
It's just all about communication.
Yeah. Which I want to come home after work and feel like I've just gone to hang out with my bestie.
Yeah.
That's what I want every day to feel like.
This is what I said to you before. Like, I think this is, and then it goes back to what you said before about like, guys like trying to get with you and say they want to be friends, but they don't want to be friends. They just want to shag.
Yeah.
But like, I do believe that a good relationship is built on an amazing friendship.
Oh, for sure.
Like I always say, like I want to be best friends with my partner before I get with them.
And I think I want every day to feel like I'm just like hanging with the bros. Like,
yeah, like don't get me wrong, like I'm not like actively going, you know what, I'm gonna all of my friends, I'm gonna try
let me go through the list.
Yeah, let me go. I'm gonna try and pursue you. Then I'm gonna try and pursue. No, it doesn't work like that.
No, obviously not.
Celine, like I want to be friends with them. I want to be friends with you.
Yeah.
Like I'm not actively going, I want to be in a relationship.
No, exactly.
With you. So like it's a different one.
Yeah. Because like, I always joke.
Love is love.
Love is love.
Cool. You guys let us know what love means to you, because it'd be nice to know. Just comment down below and let us know what love means to you.
Yes. And see if you agree or disagree with any of our opinions.
Yeah. Called the 3 Bs, and it's our game we play where, do you want to explain it whilst I look for the people?
Yeah. So it's the 3 Bs. It's, do I want to be in them? Do I want them to be in me? Or do I want to be them? So these are 3 people. We each take turns every week picking 3 people. And we basically just judge each other's level of taste.
Okay, so my 3 people is going to be a bit of a different one.
Okay.
Because all I see recently, and I've loved it since I was a kid, but like all I see on my Instagram is WWE. So I picked 3 people from WWE that I think right now are very attractive. That I think like they're pretty big. So.
Yeah. You're gonna give me the generic Rhea Ripley, aren't you?
No.
No. Delete.
Delete that one? No, joking. So the first person I've got is Cody Rhodes. If you know who Cody Rhodes is. I think he's really attractive. He's like your like blonde, blue-eyed, like American fucking dream boy person. That's when he was younger. Where's the one of them recently? I really like. He comes on and he like comes back and he like attacks John Cena to help his friend, but like, he's just nice.
If I have to choose one, I say you can put it in me. But no, not my type.
See, I don't know if I would be. I think I would be. I think I'd be BBB. I think I'd be him.
Yeah.
I really like what he stands for. He's very much about like the fans and being this like role model to like children and coming up into the sport. So I really like what he stands for.
Okay.
So like I definitely would be him.
Yeah.
He's a lovely person as well, so I'd be him.
Oh, that's fine.
So the next one. Oh, you've already top search. Rhea Ripley. Just.
Oh, I wish I never gave it away because she could put it in me any day. But I'd be her. I would be her.
I would be. Let her be inside me.
Yeah.
Like,
If I hadn't already given it away, that would be my top choice.
Mummy can dominate.
Oh, yeah.
Me. Mummy can
For sure.
dominate me.
For sure.
And then the last one is. They're all from WWE. So, Charlotte Flair.
Well, my last option is to be in her, and I would do that very gracefully.
Yeah. So Charlotte Flair is. Do you know who Ric Flair is?
Yes.
Yeah. That's his daughter.
Okay.
And she's in WWE now, and she's
Yeah.
like pretty big in it. She was the champion at some point, but she isn't anymore. But yeah, she's really nice as well, but she's hot.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So yeah, be in her.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll put the names in the description so you guys can choose and let us know in the comments what you pick. Pretty cool.
Let's get ready to ramble. Seems quite fitting because we're just coming from WWE.
Yeah. So what are we rambling about today?
So the topic I want to ramble about this week is: do you know who T.S. Madison is?
Show me a picture. I think so.
She's a reoccurring judge on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she's a trans woman, and
yeah, no. Show me a picture of her quick. I think I know who you're about.
It's her in the blue dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was on Nene Leakes.
Mm-hmm.
She was on her. I'm guessing it's like an interview show kind of thing, and basically her and Nene got into this back and forth debate about how Nene Leakes was saying if a man were to sleep with her, being a trans woman, that makes him gay, and she wouldn't want to be with a man who found TS and herself attractive because she thinks there's something weird with that. And TS was getting a lot of praise for how well she handled and the sort of discussion and how graceful she was throughout it. But the thing I mainly wanted to point on now is not only was it really out of pocket for Nene to say that because, there's no really basis for any of her claims, but also why it was just expected for TS to be gracious and considerate about it. Like, why? Like, because if TS had gotten angry at her and started arguing with her back and forth, she'd got loads of hate online for it. And it's like, I am sick to the back teeth of queer people almost being forced into educator roles to straight people who won't educate themselves and have no idea about anything. Now, there's a line. I will always answer somebody's question if I know it's not coming from a place of malice. But even then, it shouldn't be my responsibility to answer someone's burning hot question.
But first of all, why is a straight man who's having sex with a woman then seen as gay?
That's the argument. When a man sees me, they don't see genitalia. They see a feminine face, long hair, probably in a nice dress, probably in a pair of heels. They are attracted to the femininity of what they're seeing.
Unless you're like non-binary, or you are like if you are like, I don't know. If you're non-binary, then I'd say maybe. But I still wouldn't really class you as gay. I would more say you're like bisexual.
Exactly, but Nene's point was, if a man found her attractive, he's straight. But if that same man then found TS attractive, he's gay.
No, because you're a woman.
And she wouldn't be attracted to him if he found somebody like TS attractive, because to her, in her mind, that's wrong.
Right. But is that's a bit controversial because if you find someone attractive, it doesn't matter what they. I mean, there is a line where like what your pronouns are and what your gender is. I think like for me example, like yes, I can find a lesbian attractive, but I'm not going to be able to go get with a lesbian because they're not attracted to me. They're only attracted to women, and
Yeah.
I'm not a woman.
But even then, that breaks it down to a little bit more of the genitalia that they are attracted to.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but just because.
No, but then you're
TS,
being respectful
yeah, but just
to the point
because
to not pursue it.
Yeah, but just because TS has. Does she have a vagina or a penis?
I don't know.
But if even if so, it doesn't matter because you're a woman.
Exactly.
Like you.
And that would be my point. Is like people can have preferences for genitalia. It's like when they do the argument of if you reject me, it's transphobic. No.
No.
If you reject me because you have a genital preference, that is fine. Because you're not rejecting me because I am trans. You're rejecting me because I don't have the equipment that you like.
Yeah.
But if you reject me because I am trans, not in spite of, that is transphobic. So there is that very fine line of, as I say, I have been with straight men who are attracted to all of me, but not the genitalia that I have. So yeah, but they are still defined as a straight man.
But then that makes me think.
But a straight man being attracted to me and not being bothered by the genitalia I have, he is still a straight man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you're not. It's not like you're getting with.
He's not going. Guy. Yeah, he's not going after masculinity. He's pursued me
because you're feminine.
Because of the femininity.
So it does. You're not gay if you want. If you find. Let me put this out there. Straight guys, because I know there are straight people that watch this. Straight guys, or straight people in general. If you are attracted to a trans woman, you are not gay. Just like hands up, you're not gay.
Exactly.
If you want to be called gay for it, then that's your problem.
Yeah, that's your thing.
You're not gay if you find a trans woman attractive. They're a woman. Yeah. You are not gay.
Exactly.
Unless you are gay and you're gay and you still find that attractive, then fair enough.
Yeah.
But,
so again, that then goes into the whole conversation about how people ask me, how can gay men find me attractive? And it's like, because everything's a spectrum. That's why. Everything is a spectrum. Sexuality, I think things you're attracted to, or everything is on a spectrum. Yeah. Nothing is linear.
I do think if a gay man finds you attractive, I think they have sort of got to think about what they are attracted to a little bit more, because you are a woman and you are feminine.
Yeah.
Like gay men are not attracted to femininity.
But then they can be as well.
Like they are attracted to another man.
Yeah.
Like if you identify as a man, and they are attracted to that.
But again, as I say, it's like the whole thing of everything being on a spectrum. Nothing in nature is binary. No. Everything is a degree, whether it's 0% or 100%, and everything floating in between. That includes all sexualities. You could be a lesbian, see a singular man you're attracted to. You are attracted to that man, and those are feelings you have to deal with.
Yeah. And that's why I think, like, if you are feeling a certain way towards a trans woman and you are straight, then don't sit there and going, oh my god, I might be gay.
Yeah.
You're not gay.
And 9 times out of 10, these straight men as well are more concerned about what their friends and family are going to think of them than what they do of themselves.
What? But why? Because you're with a woman.
Exactly.
So you shouldn't be worried. You shouldn't be worried about whoever you love.
No.
Like, whoever you love and whoever you want to be attracted to, your family should accept you for that.
Yeah.
If they don't, then you know what to do. But
absolutely,
I don't know. I think it's a weird thing to talk about, because people just are not open enough.
No, a lot of people get very defensive,
and it's like, oh my god, I've spoken to people before, and they're like, oh my god, I find this person like this person attractive, and then they're like, yeah, but you do realize they're trans, and they're like, oh wait, sorry, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And it's like I see it all the time. Like when I watch Vladimir's videos, when he's on like Omegle and stuff, and like them chat rooms, and he's like dressed up as this woman, and it's like first it's like talking like a woman, dressed like a woman, and then the voice comes out, I'm Vladimir, and it's like instantly it's like
their reactions are
it's
like
different. Like the last one I just seen was a guy, he was like kissing at the screen, like, oh my god, I find like basically saying you're attractive. And then Vladimir was like, oh my, he was like in his voice, normal voice, like, oh my god, like this is like true love. And then like after it's like spitting at the screen. And it's like,
it's insane.
Really?
It's insane because most of that is like societal.
It's like as soon as you know that they're like this person, it's like, ugh. And it's like, really? That's not what you were saying 5 minutes ago.
No, exactly. That was my argument when they get the post-nut clarity.
Yeah, no, it's a whole thing. It's like, oh my god, I find you attractive. Oh, bust. Oh, what the hell? Like, get away from me. Like, you're weird.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're disgusted with your life choices. That's got no reflection on me.
This is why I think, like, you generally, if you are like curious about your gender and you're curious about your sexuality, I do believe you need to do some diving into it, because you can't be going around like thinking that you're attractive to someone and then you get post-nut clarity and you're not, because you're putting that person in danger. Like, I don't want someone to come to me like and we have sex and then after they're like, oh, get away from me, and like give me abuse, you know, because you're putting me in danger. Like, exactly. I'm then in danger. So it's, I do believe you, if you are feeling curious about it, then do a lot of research, do exploration, explore it
internally first.
Yeah, because the one thing is horrible is I've had where like guys they nut and then it's like, you're a weirdo, get away from me, don't come near me again. Like,
that's that everything that you once seen as my beauty, you now think is the most hideous thing about me,
just like, because you've nutted now and you're like, oh, fantasy over.
That's it,
you know what I mean?
Fantasy is over. I
believe you need to do some research
for sure.
Like, explore. That is the end of this episode. We hope you've enjoyed, and we would like to hear your opinions on the things that we spoke about today. And we'll catch you in the next one.
See you next time.
Peace.